I always tell people the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. But the problem is our communities are divided. For Asian Americans and for African Americans, we probably have one of the worst relationships between any community.
Well, I bet you a lot of Asian Americans too don't, in my experience, don't even realize that if it wasn't for the civil rights movement, there would not be 22 million Asian Americans in this country.
Thank you. What I have been trying to teach the
Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channels. This is Team Tessie Reaction. Kindly for watching me for the first time, remember to subscribe, like, share and comment. So guys, in today's video is about Latino and Asians. Latino and Asians are regretting why they voted for Donald Trump. We know that we Black American and Caribbean and also African voted for Democrats. They didn't vote for Donald Trump. So for now, they are crying after realizing that Black Americans and Africans were right. So kindly guys, let's watch this video until the end, and then I'll come back with more reaction.
teach the Asian community is like, friends, do you understand that your success, your prosperity, your civil rights that you enjoy right now was paid for with Black blood?
I'm gonna take a sip of my morning coffee before I say what I'm about to say. You know what? Who cares? What the hell is wrong with Latinos? What the hell is wrong with us as a whole? Like seriously, we need to start talking about this. It first started with over half of us, 60% to be exact, voting for the orange tyrant, voting against our own people, our own interests, and we're seeing how that is playing out. You know what? We're not going there. Then the Latinos had the caucasity to go on Beyonce's internet attacking Black people for not rioting in the streets like they were doing during the Black Lives Matter movement on our behalf, when it was the consequences of our own actions that got us here in the first place. Like, how are the caucasity? Like seriously, that is caucasousness. And to add insult to injury, there are Latinos going on Beyonce's internet attacking Sinners, Ryan Coogler's masterpiece, because there wasn't Latino representation. First of all, don't come for Ryan Coogler, okay? Because while Latino people are just bending the knee and kissing and licking boots just to get invited into the room, let alone a seat at the table, Ryan Coogler was like, F that table, I'm gonna make my own table. Beyonce was like, F that table, I'm gonna make my own table. And they now are inviting their own people to these tables for these opportunities. And you have the caucasity, because that's what it is. Y'all acting like the white people that they want to be so damn bad to be accepted by so damn bad because there's not Latino representation. Y'all are confusing representation with the showcase that was Sinners, the history lesson that was Sinners. Like, it's not the same. What makes me so sad is, when did Latino people become like this? When did the orgullo, the pride, dissipate into thin air? Like, when are we so accepting of bare minimum, a little cameo in the movie, or just like invited to their spaces that they don't even want us in? Like, when did, like, we need to have a talk. We are not okay as Latino people. As a Black Mexican American, okay, so I'm both. Can Black people just not have their moment? Can Black people just not have all the flowers that they're given right now? Because make no mistake, what is happening amongst Hollywood and the entertainment industry in regards to Black people bulldozing these doors open and creating their own lanes and creating their own spaces, it's beautiful. It is. Man, I'm getting goosebumps because I am so damn proud to be Black. You know, I'm so damn proud to be the other, you know, like and then you have Latino people coming in here trying to ride on the coattails. It's like, create your own damn freaking lane. Some Dusty on TikTok want to compare Sinners to From Dusk Till Dawn, which, make no mistake, From Dusk Till Dawn is an iconic movie. One of the baddest women to ever grace the earth was in that movie, Miss Salma Hayek, who created a scene that is so iconic, and I understand that, but how can you compare the two? I'm not getting the correlations, because From Dusk Till Dawn was representation. You just have Latino people in there, but there was no history lesson. There was no displaying our culture so beautifully like Sinners was. You know what I mean? It's like, when did we get like this? Why are we all of a sudden like this in droves? Because like I said, it wasn't even half. It's not half and half. It was over half of us. You know, it all started with the election that kind of put it on display, right? But my gaster is flabbered. I just don't know what to say anymore. I don't know how we got like this, and we need to stop. We need to freaking stop and get out of the way, because this is Black creators, Black directors, Black musicians' time to shine. You know, Black actors. Like, this is their moment. We don't need to try again to attach ourselves and hoping that they, you know, maybe create a lane for. No, we can do that for ourselves. We can do that for ourselves, and we have been. Why are Latino people acting like we're not creating spaces and, you know, creating our own lanes? And there's so many Latinos in the entertainment industry that are doing this for us as well. Like, I don't get it. Now I'm gonna have my sip of coffee, because I'm done. I'm shook.
Can we just talk about the anti-Blackness that exists in the Latino community? Because it's a real thing. And it is only further perpetuating the division between our two communities and contributing to the overall oppression of our two communities. And I know there's going to be some people out there that's like, that's not even a thing. That's not a real issue. But it is. I grew up hearing freaking racist remarks made towards Black people. And I heard it often. And I know so many other people did. And not only is it about anti-Blackness, it's also about internalized racism that some Latinos, including myself when I was a child, felt the need to be white because I saw white people being treated better. And in my mind, I'm like, well, if I'm white, or if I consider myself white, or if I tell people that I'm white, then I am going to be treated better. I didn't understand as a child why I even felt that. But we are socialized as a society to want that, unless you break out of the freaking matrix and you realize, oh my gosh, we're all being oppressed by the same freaking systems. So for us to have division and for there to be anti-Blackness in our community is not helping anyone. One, it's just wrong. But two, it's only further perpetuating the oppression that already exists in our freaking society. So there's that part. And then there's this whole dismissal of Afro-Latinos, because Afro-Latinos exist, yet sometimes are classified as not Latino, when in reality, they are Latinos. Afro-Latinos. And then there's this whole freaking connection to where we find ourselves in American history. Okay? And the fact that many people, many Latinos, Latino men in particular, did not want to vote for a black and Asian, but a Black woman. Okay? And then there's the intersection of machismo, internalized racism, anti-Blackness, and all of it contributing again to the further perpetuation of oppression of our communities. That's what I need people to understand. When there's division between our two communities, that is purposeful, okay? Because these systems, these people in power want us to be infighting, when in reality, there's a lot more that we have in common. We are also being oppressed by the same systems. We should be supporting each other. And it is because of Black people and their advocacy that we, as Latinos and other communities, have the civil rights that we have today. The ability for us to even be able to have that privilege was in large due part to Black people, okay? So I need us to understand that. And I need us to have a conversation about that, because even if we were brought up that way, that doesn't mean that we can't change. That doesn't mean that we can't do better, because we can. Okay? Even if society socializes to believe that, we can change, we can do better. So if you want to have this conversation, follow for more.
Okay, so let's talk about it, because I'm kind of seeing a pattern that's hard to ignore. And it's time we talk about it, honestly. If you do have comments for this video, make sure you keep them respectful, not just to me, but to everybody else too. We can't afford to continue to be divisive. So why do some Latinos vote for Trump? Why do those people align themselves with whiteness even when it works directly against them? And why, in doing so, do they often turn their backs on Black people? Let's start with this. Not all Latinos are anti-Black. Not all Latinos voted for Trump. That's fact. But when we talk about patterns, we're talking about systems. We're talking about something that didn't start here. It started way back. See, Latin America didn't escape colonization. It was built on it. Spanish and Portuguese colonizers created rigid racial caste systems. where, of course, whiteness was at the top and blackness, especially of African descent, was at the bottom. And as sad as it is to say, that mentality largely has never left. In fact, many Latin American countries, anti-blackness isn't just cultural, it's institutional. In school systems, beauty standards, marriage expectations, even immigration policies. Now, if we fast forward to life in the US, here you have entire generations of Latino families, many of whom were taught that the closer you are to whiteness, the safer that you end up being. Lighter skin, a passport. European ancestry, a flex. And blackness, still associated with poverty, danger, and rebellion, which is everything that white supremacy tells you to fear. So when someone like Trump comes along, and he's loud, nationalistic, racist, anti-immigrant, you'd think that Latinos would run the other way, right? But here's what we saw. For those who've internalized anti-blackness, Trump represents order, power, a place to hide. And if your survival has always been tied to not being black, you'll throw us under the bus just to get a seat on it. And we all know it's not about politics, it's about identity. Because many Latinos their whole lives have been told that if they align themselves with blackness, it's an automatic failure. That it means going backwards, that it means becoming the problem. When they see Black people taking up space, demanding justice, organizing, protesting, taking pride in being unapologetically Black, they reject it. Because they, like most of us, have been taught to fear what you don't know. And if you've never been allowed to know your own history, to embrace your Afro roots, to unlearn that colonial shame, then yeah, of course you'll see Blackness as a threat instead of freedom. So no, we're not going to group all Latinos together. We can't. But we are going to talk about the history, the erasure, the fear. Because some of y'all aren't choosing Trump. You're choosing distance. Distance from Blackness, distance from yourselves. But what you're running from might just be your key to liberation. And if we don't talk about that, we're not building bridges, we're building silence. And I refuse to be quiet about it.
I don't know who needs to hear this and how many times I need to say it, but I just want to let you guys know that when Black people make something, they make a film or a TV show, and Latinos come out and say, well, what about when will Latinos get a turn? When will Latinos get a turn? That it's inherently racist, and especially because it plays into the erasure of Afro-Latinos. Black Latinos do exist. They really do. And most of us only find our representation in Black films because Latinos won't allow anyone darker than a sheet of printer paper to star in any of their Latino stuff. Let someone who looks like Karol G be the face of Latin America and then fuss and whine when Black people make their own shit. You fuss and whine about representation and wanting Latino representation, and then when a Black Latino like Gerald Jerome's wins an Emmy, right? And then you whine about how no Latinos win Emmys, and everyone's like, well, what about Gerald Jerome? And then you go, well, not a Black one. We obviously didn't mean a Black one. And ironically enough, it's really funny because in Sinners, I kept thinking, hey, the number one problem here in this film is that the Black people were too understanding, too compassionate, and too welcoming to strangers, right? They should have never let Haley Steinfeld's ass in there. And they let her in there out of the good graces of trying to show someone compassion, even though white people had never shown them compassion in return. And you are literally doing that right now, asking and demanding that Black people be open and compassionate and share their spaces and their stages with you, even though when the foot is on the other side and you're making a Latino anything, you don't invite Black people. You don't make sure, oh, let's make sure that we have Black people representation. You don't do that. 50 movies starring all white people come out a year, and it's quiet, and it's not until Black people do something that all of a sudden Latinos want something too. How dare the Black people do it and not give it to us first? Don't care, and you don't dare to ask the white man for shit, but you sure will demand something from the Black people.
I haven't seen Sinners, okay? Don't get on. But people are tagging me in videos of Latinos talking about, what about us? What about you? What about you? Let's be real. What the fuck about you? If you wanted to make a movie like Sinners, you need to find you a Latino producer and a Latino backing with money, a Latino full cast, and make the fucking movie. I'm sick of every time Black people do something for Black people and make ways for Black people, other fucking races are talking about, all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. What the fuck about y'all? You want some shit? Go make that shit happen. Stop looking for Black people to pick up everybody off the fucking ledge. Damn, y'all can't let us have shit. Every time I turn around, it's another fucking race bitching and complaining about what Black people aren't doing for them. Get your shit together. Get your people together. Get the fuck up. Find the money. Find the grants. Make your own fucking way. Haven't we done enough for y'all asses? Okay, I'm going back to bed.
sea un poquito más latina, como un poquito. So then here comes the part where I'm like, latina, because el prototipo de la mujer latina, with all due respect, es una mujer como tú, como Jenny.
First of all, I love Amara La Negra. I love how she uses her platforms to speak up about Afro-Latinidad. And in this interview, she made such a good point. We have two well-known Spanish channels across the US and Latin America. And you will rarely see them cast black people for their novelas, for their shows, interviews. And then you can see the lack of inclusion that exists within the Latino community.
Hello guys, welcome back. Hope you have watched a very emotional message from Latinos and Asians. We all know that Latinos and Asians were voted for Donald Trump, and when Donald Trump won the election, those two continents celebrated a lot. We saw how really Latinos and Asians came out in street and started celebrating the winning of Donald Trump. But now they have come out and realized that that yellow man is not qualified to be the president of United States, because Donald Trump is really bringing down the United States because of the bad policies that is implementing in United States. We saw how Donald Trump, when he announces publicly about the increase of tariffs across all over the world, and this is a target for Chinese, those are Asian, that's a target for Asian people, and now they are crying out for that tariff that was being given by those Donald Trump. And another thing is about deportation. We have seen all over. Now you can, if you have watched that video, you have seen how people are really crying in United States after being given a removal warning from Donald Trump, because when Trump came in power, he publicly announced that all the immigrants will be deported from the United States, and he even said that United States is not a dustbin for foreign people, because we have seen most of people dominating the United States, the likes of Africans, the likes of those Latinos, they are the one that is maybe dominating the United States. But he said that the United States is not a dustbin for the people, so that's why now he has started deporting those people using those IC agents are the one that's using to deport all over the immigrant going back to their country. And if you are in America, or if you are in America, just deport yourself, because these people, when they will find you, they will deport you anywhere. They don't care. Even you have seen how really now the farmers are really crying out, because they deported even their workers, because when they found that some workers are really working on their farms and they were undocumented, so that's made them to be deported back to their country. So Trump is really affecting the life is now in United States is so expensive, and he's killing the dreams of people now dreaming to go into United States. I can advise you for free, don't go to United States now, because life in United States is so expensive. The another thing is about the Iran. You can see that Trump also targeting the Asian and Latinos through supporting the Israel. We have seen the war between the Israel and Iran, and Trump has crossed the line and interfering with those war. He even supported the Iran, and Iran is now planning to strike back to United States, and this is now the results of voting a person who don't know how to run the government, because Donald Trump was failed by Joe Biden, and he came the second time. So this time he don't care about the lives of people. He don't care. He's just killing the United States. And with this behavior, maybe for the next day or we will see the World War III, and it will really take down United States, because some of these countries like the Russia, Ukraine, and Japan, the Chinese, are also claiming to be the superpower, and we all know that United States is the only superpower that we have across all over the world. But now, because of now starting the interfering with the affairs of most of countries, it have now come a time that we will witness the World War III, which is will really affecting the people of United States. So if you are planning, or if you are maybe planning to go to United States, just cancel that trip. And as I conclude, Latinos and America, let's just united. And this is a lesson for you. Don't even come along and joke about the black American, because we black, we voted for Democrats, which were being led by the Kamala Harris, but we all own. But you guys, you celebrated a lot, started mongering us, seeing us like maybe a puppet, yani just a dustbin for United States. And now the life has been turned to you. You are now feeling the pain that we African were really feeling in United States. So kindly guys, for watching me, remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, like, share, and comment, and turn on your notification so that you don't lose any update when I post. Bye for now, see you later.